Welcome to Cut the BS with Holly and Rachel.
We are here to help you ditch the overwhelm, stop second guessing, and reconnect with what truly fuels your body, your mind, and your life.
No fluff, no filters, just real talk that helps you feel strong, aligned, and unstoppable. Whether you're on a walk, commuting, or sipping your favorite matcha, this is your space. So, welcome to Cut the BS. My name is Rachel, aka Ray Ray, aka Bon Bon. And I know you aren't used to seeing this setup, but with me, I've got my lovely co-host.
I'm Holly, aka Holly, the one and only.
The best.
Did I get it right this time?
I think you did.
Who knows? There's so many variations. Just know there's one, and it's me.
That's right. She's the best one. So
I am her.
So what are we getting into today? I know that we're usually not in this setup, not us in the same city.
I know, not us in the same house, in the same studio.
Who knew? And if you guys actually saw us putting this thing together today, you would LOL because it was a hot mess.
Hot Mess Express.
That's right.
Choo-choo.
I'm the conductor.
But you know what? We're here. Let's give it to them. Today, we're going to be talking about rest and recovery because not enough people prioritize rest, and I don't think they're at fault for that. I think it's truly just not understanding the importance of rest, and as we're going to talk about, all we know is go, 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 right? Like, if you're not moving and being productive, basically you're a lazy piece of shit.
Oh, welcome to America.
Yeah. And I say that, and let's be clear that that's what we're taught. That's what we're told.
Right.
But that's not the reality of it.
Right. And, and we were saying like hustle and bustle. I was imagining the Cartoon Network. I want to say that he was like a coyote and he would run. And when he would run, his legs would like spin in circles before he would actually go.
Yeah. No, I've never seen that, but I can visualize like the cartoonish element of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Cartoon Network kid.
Was that like before your time?
No, I think it was just like not my brother's cup of tea. We were like a Disney and Nickelodeon kind of family.
I mean, same. I bounced from them all. But yeah, I think this is such an underrated topic. And also, I feel like even people who have been in the fitness industry for years and years still kind of underestimate its importance.
Mm-hmm.
And even myself, like I underestimated it and still do from time to time because, again, we're in this culture. Our culture says you have to work, work, work. Like one of the first things we ask someone when we meet someone for the first time is, ooh, what do you do?
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but is that like a priority of the first thing you want to know about someone is what they do for work?
Right.
I'm trying to work to live. I'm not trying to live to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think that's like so tricky, not to go down a rabbit hole, but like some people enjoy what they do for work and they're passionate about the work that they do, while others, do it to pay the bills and to live a life.
Right.
But yeah, very rarely is it like, oh, what's your hobbies? And then when somebody says that, I'm just like, what is my hobby?
Reading, book club.
Yeah, literally. And sitting inside, actually.
Being an introvert with the occasional extroverted behavior.
Yeah, literally. This is my extrovertedness for the day. Thank you.
Right. So. I'm enough of an extrovert for the both of us that I'm probably just sucking all the energy.
No, never. You fill up my cup. Don't doubt it. Yeah.
I fill your cup?
Yeah,
I can't. You're going to make me cry on the pod.
Pull it together.
Right.
Anyways, so rest and recovery is something that's so important, but definitely overlooked and underhyped, I think. Why do you think that rest is so important?
Well, obviously, we know what the science textbooks say. Won't get into it too deep, but rest is just as important, if not more important, than going in the gym and working your ass off. Because as you know, as we know in this field, you go into the gym, you break down the muscles, you create all those micro tears. And so after the gym comes the recovery. And the recovery is when the muscle builds, when you become stronger, like it's the recovery piece of it. So one of the first things that I tell my clients is when it comes to recovery and to rest, the top 3: sleep, water, protein. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, the water and protein are more on the nutrition side, but the sleep is just as important. And maybe not just sleep, but also like the recovery piece of it, of resting and not going balls to the walls every single day, 7
Yeah.
days a week.
Yeah. Expecting to be full output 7 days a week and all like always at that expectation is crazy. Our bodies can't handle that. Our bodies simply weren't made for that.
Look,
On top of an 8-hour workday. Oh,
right.
RIP us.
God himself rested on the 7th day, so you know we better.
Amen to that.
Uh, but yeah, I think again, it's just something that's, and maybe it's just that people might know that it's important theoretically. Maybe they don't know like the nitty gritty details of it,
Yeah.
but it's just something that goes to the back burner. Like I know for me, I know the importance of it, but again, it's something that goes to the back burner. And as someone who uses physical activity for an outlet,
Hmm.
like maybe my body does need rest, but I really want to go play.
Yeah.
Um, I know, like, a couple like, was it last weekend? I played 3 days in a row, which there's nothing wrong with that. Um, for where I'm at currently and, like, how active I had been, my
Hmm.
body was definitely like, should you really? Maybe we should have at least stretched before."
Did she is the question.
Mm, we did a little bit of a warm-up, it wasn't enough. So, like, overdoing it could be the lack of knowing. It could be pushing it to the back burner
Hmm.
because maybe you just don't feel like it, or maybe like activity is your outlet. But I think being cognizant of it and really trying to incorporate more of it is important in all aspects, not just like building muscle and strength and being healthy, but also in like the work life balance and like taking time for self-care and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a large part of like rest is that like complete downtime and not just, okay, well, if I'm not going to do this today, I'm going to meal prep today. While meal prepping is important and maybe it can be part of a rest day, it shouldn't be the whole rest day.
Right.
You really do need to be horizontal. I fully believe that.
This might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I also think that people avoid rest because they don't want to be alone with themselves and with their thoughts. Like, I know that's a reason for me sometimes. If y'all saw inside my brain, you would be like, that girl needs,
Hmm.
she needs something, some ashwagandha maybe. But I think that's also like maybe a reason why people avoid it
Hmm.
because, again, like we're not just targeting like the physical aspect of it, but also like the mental, emotional side of it as well when it comes to like health and wellness. And so maybe we should self evaluate. I have to do that from time to time.
Yeah. And I think that's important, knowing that like you're not afraid. Afraid's not the right word, but that's the word I'm going to put in place for now. Like afraid and uncomfortable with the
Hmm.
silence and the downtime.
Right.
You know, we won't do that reflection here on the pod. Take that home. That's your homework assignment for the week,
Right.
yours and the listeners.
Let's go back to, let's really deep dive here.
So, before we kind of wrap up the rest element and why it's so important, I kind of want to go back to you talking about volleyball and going a little balls to the wall
Hmm.
and, 3, 4 days in a row. What do you notice performance wise, if anything, that maybe like suffers from going 3 days back to back
Hmm. Um, Not me overdoing it, doing it 3, 4 days in a row, and
on top of everything
on top
else?
of it, on top of just being. Um, yeah, I definitely notice a difference um in my recovery after in general. So like anytime I play volleyball, it's usually in, I mean, you have to think of like all the conditions. It's not in a gym, so I'm playing on the beach. It is still summer, and so you're looking at 90-degree temperatures, high humidity. I usually pack like a half gallon of water with electrolytes in it because again, hot.
Yeah.
Um, but even like during, it's definitely harder if I've played the day before or previous days before. Um, I honestly don't do enough of a warm up, which I'm doing better. We're slowly progressing it. Because I'm no longer
I was going to say, I think
six,
you're being forced to.
16 years old. Let's just say the ligaments and tendons are nearing an older age, you know?
Yeah.
Um, hmm. But yeah, I can definitely tell a difference in my performance. Like I'm starting to ache a little bit more, like in my shoulder. But just like old injuries start kind of like nagging me a little bit more. And so then I have to go back to like the rehab exercises that I know are tried and true to kind of get me
Yeah.
back on track, which is great. But also, if I were recovering properly, those things wouldn't happen.
Mhm.
So definitely can tell a difference. Performance wise, I get gas quicker. But yeah, definitely can tell a difference if I'm not doing the things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you prioritize sleep at least on those
Listen,
days?
I do. I would say in general in my life, I prioritize sleep 90% of the time, which I feel
Mhm.
like is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, if you're inviting me out at 7, I'm sorry I can't. I have bedtime at 9.
Yeah, especially on a weeknight. No.
Yeah. I will, like, stretch a little if I'm, like, out of town, like, this weekend, obviously, I'm out of town here with you,
Hence why she's here.
right? Mhm. So, like, I'll stretch a little, like, we have a PM dinner plan, so I'm definitely gonna have to take some caffeine and maybe, like, a shot of tequila to get through it.
Wait, can we please tell the story of where your caffeine went today? Your mid-afternoon pick me up?
Oh my gosh. I did prep by having some matcha at 2 p.m., walk into Holly's house, going in for a hug to say hello to CJ, and then our hands collide and the matcha just like spills all over the floor.
Oh,
Pistachio tried to lick it up. It was a
yeah.
whole thing.
R.I.P. the matcha.
Yeah, and it was a venti iced matcha sub coconut milk with 1 shot of blonde espresso.
I'm
Don't sleep.
telling you, yeah, first of all, try that because that order got me onto matcha, so
Love it.
can't go away from that. Have you ever tried putting, like, the pumpkin are you a fan of pumpkin?
I
Let's
am a
start
fan
there.
of pumpkin.
In matcha,
I
is
have
that good?
not. I've not. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't think that would be
Now,
good, but I love pumpkin, but I don't think it would be good.
I don't feel like it would be good.
What about, like, an apple cider syrup?
I think it would be. I think we can. I don't think we can make matcha fall. I don't think we
I
can.
feel like matcha is fall, actually. Actually, you might like too much instead of season.
I don't feel like it's fall. I feel like it's summer.
Really? I feel like the greenery is like
Summer.
summer,
Fall
fall,
is like
spring, winter.
burnt orange.
That's fair. Maybe it just depends on the syrup you add.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I do. I like lavender in my matcha. I like
The
vanilla.
best.
Hazelnut is even actually decent because
Mhm.
it's already got like an earthy flavor. So anytime you mix like the nutty hazelnut with earth,
Mhm. That's why I get oat milk.
okay, you lost me.
I know. I know. I'm just telling you if you would give it a chance.
I have. I don't like it.
Hmm.
Oat milk is like literally drinking starch juice.
Starchy juice is crazy. That was so disrespectful. Okay, I digress. Before we have to end the pod over the disrespect.
It is.
Maybe you're just not drinking the right oat milk.
Maybe.
Anywho, rest and recovery.
Yeah.
We will return.
We're going to rest and recover from this conversation.
There will be no returning.
Right.
So sleep, yeah, like I think we can't undermine sleep. I think that that's like one of the first things that I try to get people to focus on because health and wellness in general cannot be uh, top notch without good quality sleep.
Yeah.
Like the best workout plan, the best nutrition can still fall short without good quality sleep because we're doing
Mhm.
so much recovery while sleeping.
Right. Yeah, I will not shout out my client's name, because I'm gonna be considerate, I guess. But I have a male client that I'm coaching right now, and he has progressed so much. Like, I'm basically just, like, writing his program for him. And he has put on so much muscle and is doing all the protein and really, like, getting more steps, like, doing all the things. His sleep is trash. And so I basically had to threaten him. I was like, "You will not see optimal results. You put in all this hard work.
Hmm.
You will not see optimal results unless you start getting better sleep." I'm talking like 4, 5, 6 hours a night. which I will say I do think men need less sleep than women, and I think they've
Mhm.
even, like, come out with some studies
Yeah.
that they've actually done on women. It's about time. Um, but, like, 4 hours is not enough. 5 hours
Yeah.
is not enough. Like, your body needs to go through, so many full cycles of sleep. Like, you need to get all of that REM sleep
Mhm.
in order for all of the proper hormones to be, because like different hormones release during different stages of sleep, and a lot of those are reparative and restorative to different like aspects of your body. So not going through the full cycles of sleep is detrimental.
Yeah, yeah. And also the less sleep, the higher your cortisol, especially like in the mornings, and then you're going to caffeine. It's
Mm,
just it's a domino effect, if you will.
basically.
And then you're because of the stress, you're now craving sugary foods and highly processed foods. And it's just yeah, domino effect.
Yeah, and especially for like women, I feel like we are more prone to having excess cortisol. I'm totally pulling that like out of thin air. Who knows if it's true? But like I feel like we're more stressed individuals.
hmm
Like I don't think it's possible for us to think about nothing.
Right. I think we just carry more of a load mentally at all times, unfortunately.
Hmm. So doing everything we can to combat that and to again rest and recover is important.
Yeah. So what are your favorite ways to recover?
Oh man. Now granted, I don't have all of the access to recover in the best way. I'm a big fan of an ice bath.
Mm. Okay.
Now, I have mixed feelings about ice in general, which is a hot take because ice does reduce inflammation. I think in certain instances, inflammation is important.
Mhm.
But ice baths do make me feel a lot better. Like if I'm, again, like really sore after the 3 days of playing volleyball in a row and my body's like, hey, I hate you. I'm going to jump in an ice bath.
Mhm.
Um, because it's like, it's instant relief. So
Is
cold.
that something you go somewhere for, or is that, like,
Girl,
at
I'm
your
going to
home?
Publix and getting a couple of bags of ice, throwing it in the
Okay.
tub and filling it full of water and calling
That's
it a
not a bad
day.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I know that a lot of people, like, I've seen on social media a lot, like, the cold tubs that people have.
Mhm.
Um, I like that for instant relief, but my more regular is, like, really pushing water.
Yeah.
If my pee's not clear, then I'm not hydrated enough, and that's for all of you out there as well. Um, so just making sure I'm drinking a lot of water. If I need to replenish electrolytes, do that, especially if I've been sweating a lot. And also,
Yeah.
a little bit of another hot take is people are really pushing the electrolytes when they don't need them.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you really only need electrolytes if you are sweating, like your body is sweating a lot. Like, for example, if you're in 90-degree weather, you're doing anything outside and it's hot and you're just
Mhm.
really pouring the sweat. Obviously, after that, sometimes cramps happen. And so well, if you're already cramping, then you're already pretty dehydrated and you already needed the electrolytes
Yeah.
maybe 30 minutes ago. But you don't need electrolytes every time you go to the gym, but I definitely think if you're like doing really high intensity, you're sweating a whole lot, or you're just a big
Mhm.
sweater in general, maybe start leaning in more to the electrolytes or
Yeah.
throwing some salt in your water also
Yeah.
helps.
I also think, like, are you salting your food? Like, let's maybe start there.
Right.
Especially if you're consuming whole foods, you
Mhm.
don't need to worry about overdoing, like, the sodium. Now, if you
Mhm.
have a highly processed diet, that's a different conversation.
Right.
But you can afford some salt on your, you know, chicken and your vegetables and stuff like that. Like, you don't need to be scared of that
Mm.
if especially if you don't have something like high blood pressure.
Right.
So I think just starting there, you don't have to buy electrolytes.
Right. And I'll also say that like people have asked me before, like clients have asked me like, what are your opinion on sodium? Because it's a big push like in the health world in general is like watch your sodium, watch your salt, watch your
Mhm.
sodium. Well, granted, the people that they're talking to are all already on high blood pressure
Right.
medication. So like for someone who's really active, I tell them like if you're active, you are building muscle, you have a clean diet, like sodium doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Which again, take that with a grain of salt, pun intended. But as long as there's a balance between water and sodium, I think that's where the issue comes in.
Right.
And when you, like you said, the processed foods have a crap ton of sodium in them, so the
Yeah.
balance is not giving balance. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Definitely go back to our food labels
Yep.
episode to figure out where you can find the sodium.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I think sleep and just finding things like a cold bath or I know some people like say the sauna. I've personally never experienced like a lot of relief with the sauna as far as physical symptoms go.
Hmm.
That said, I love it for my little Minty V, taking care of her because I can do nothing but be silent, be with my thoughts
Right.
because my phone will overheat. I see people in the sauna all the time with their phone, and I'm just like, how?
Oh, I do. And then when it overheats, I get out of the sauna.
Oh, she said, I will not be with my thoughts.
Right.
Thoughts and
I
prayers
told you
to
earlier.
you.
Right. I told you earlier. I run away. No, I try to at least be with my thoughts once a week, but usually that's good enough for me.
It's a week. I'm so.
That's all I can take. um, yeah, the sauna, I think really I mean, people are talking about how great and wonderful it is. I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's good for like kind of loosening your body up and your muscles,
Mhm.
obviously, because you're in a billion-degree room.
Right.
So, like,
Imagine.
why wouldn't you get warmer?
Yeah.
You're gonna sweat more. But again, thinking of sauna with like, if you're sweating a lot, it's gonna dehydrate you. So, are you replenishing that with water? Again,
Right.
water is recovery.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Maybe utilizing like the sauna, and once you've been in there for a minute or so, like not literally a minute, but a little bit, maybe you do some stretching in the sauna. Maybe that could be of benefit. But
mhm.
just I don't know. I personally don't think that just sitting in the sauna does much. But I guess we'll see as studies continue to come out.
Well, and I know people also say like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna recover and rest. Like, I'm gonna go through like a really hardcore like stretching session." And while I think stretching is great and needed, if you're doing, and I actually saw this from another professional that I really like respect in the fitness industry, like, and he's completely right. If you're stretching and working your muscles through like the mobility that they need, it's gonna create a lot of micro tears and you're gonna have to recover from
Hmm.
that. And you should be sore from it, especially if you're not doing it all the time. So I think light stretching is great. Again, like I always say, I always use the term active recovery.
Hmm.
And a lot of people don't know what that is, but I usually say like you're not doing anything super strenuous. Maybe you're going on a walk, like you can walk every day
Hmm. Right.
and be fine. Um, But yeah, I think stretching has its limits. Like maybe don't go crazy and put your body in all these weird positions.
Right.
If you're sore from it the next day, were you recovering? So
Yeah. One of those things where I think, you just need to reflect on that the next day
yeah.
and actually,
Mm-hmm.
think about whether that actually helped or not. Something I sometimes like to do, when I say sometimes, I mean like maybe 6 times a year.
Oh,
Yeah, like sometimes. I'm not great at it. I love a
rarely.
yoga session. But
Okay.
again, I think it goes back to that if you're too intricate with it, you're not recovering. Like,
Mm-hmm.
well, for me, the point of yoga is to take it easy, take it light. And if you go too hard with yoga, you're not doing that.
Listen, I am swearing a little too much in yoga, so it won't be me doing that for any kind of recovery. Maybe if I were doing it, I think for people that are doing it all the time, it can
Hmm.
be. But if you're, and maybe if it's like a beginner class, but there are
Right.
some, I went to an intermediate because I was feeling prideful that day.
Yeah.
And let's just say I was very proud of myself, but I was literally, it's supposed to be such a tranquil space.
Right.
And then you hear me in the corner going like, like literally like so angry because like I'm trying to do the poses and it's just, the poses aren't posing.
Right. Not for you. Not today.
Right.
Maybe tomorrow.
I mean,
Yeah.
years.
And then I think just having hobbies outside of the gym so that when you do have a rest day, you're not like, la 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 la, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'll just go to the gym.
Right.
I had a phase of that, where even on rest days, I went to the gym. And like I don't necessarily think there has to be something wrong with that, but that wasn't healthy for me. It's good to have hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started lifting, and I feel like it's common when you first start really getting, like, into the like, you're becoming a gym rat,
Yeah.
if you will. I was lifting 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Now, I was in the learning process, but, like, when I was really getting in the groove of it, I would lift with some guy friends that I had in college, and they were, like, teaching me proper form, all the things we had. They'd separated all the days, chest day, back and buys, like, all those things.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
gotta be more efficient with your
well,
time.
right, right. But I'll say that when I became more knowledgeable about programming, was no longer working out to a man's plan,
Mhm.
but my plan and something that worked better for me, reducing down to 3, 4 days, I saw a huge jump in my numbers, like strength
Mhm.
wise. And it's because, ding, 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 I was getting more rest.
So I think something that could be important to note is that depending on the intensity that people are lifting at or the type of workout they're doing, rest days compared to like work days, if you will, in the gym is going to vary a lot.
hmm
What are your thoughts as far as that kind of goes?
Well, my weeks change. Like I recently got a new job, so my whole schedule has been shifted around quite a bit. But we're thankful for it because it was a great change,
Yeah.
and we are so blessed. Literally a unicorn job. Um, but my schedule has changed a lot. For me, I usually have a good idea at the beginning of the week what days I'm playing volleyball because as women we like to plan ahead.
Yes.
So like if I'm playing through the weekend, then like let's say it's Sunday and I know that I'm playing the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or maybe like I usually try to do a day in between because we try to rest. So maybe I'm doing like a Friday, Sunday. So I'll only lift 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
I'll do 2 days. If I can do the 3rd day, great. If it doesn't work out, I'm not stressing about it.
hmm
The 3rd day usually is not even like a full go balls to the walls, workout. It's more of like intentional, like shoulder rehab, maybe some cardio, maybe working on like core strength.
hmm
Um, so if I'm not playing volleyball at all, then I'm like, okay, I have to get in there at least 3 days, if not 4.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. I kind of revolve it around volleyball because that's what I love the most.
hmm
I do the gym because the gym is good for me and it's an outlet. But volleyball is like, you know,
The reason.
right,
You do the gym so you can continue to play volleyball.
right, that. Yes.
Yeah.
What about you?
Um, I I would say that so I used to do volleyball, as you know. Haven't gotten back into that in a while.
Ugh,
Maybe
I
one
could
day.
never.
Maybe one day. It's intimidating here in Lexington, okay?
Is it?
It's a lot clicky.
It's clingy everywhere, but honestly, let me not talk trash. I think you're
I,
fine.
I traditional or like strength training is typically my only thing I'm doing. Trying to add in some cardio.
How's that going?
It's going.
Hmm.
I'm guaranteed one session a week.
Do you run it all ever?
Um, Run away from my problems, yes. So you know the little I don't know what they're called, but the like not treadmills, but the ones you get on and like it goes. Like you don't set a pace.
The air runner.
I've really been wanting to try that, but I'm today intimidated because I've never done it.
Okay, so those are my favorite ones, and I'm literally so mad that no gym that I go to in South Florida has one because why don't you have one?
Yeah, that's pretty basic.
It's kind of hard to get the hang of because it all depends on where your foot lands on it. So if you land up higher on it, it's going to go faster. So like it's meant to accelerate
Yeah.
because
I think I would do it in a sprint capacity because I think I want to kind of do that, do like take a rest, maybe like sleds, and
right.
then go to that.
But I will say you can get on there and if you just have very short strides, that'll help you get used to how to maneuver it.
Yeah.
And you can even do it while holding on to like if you're real nervous,
Yeah.
you can hold on to the handrails and just like short strides because the bigger the stride, the more it accelerates.
Okay.
And I have almost eaten shit on that. So
Maybe I'll record it and we can have a series of Holly learning how to do the one.
Oh, yes. No, but I used to warm up on it. I would do like the things on the ground.
Mhm.
I would go do like a light, I call it a light sprint because it's not a full sprint
Yeah.
for maybe like 20 seconds and then go back, do more groundwork, do the
Okay.
things. Um, and if you don't have like a stretch of space to sprint, you can do sprints on those too.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Love those.
We'll try. Right now I just do the Stairmaster for cardio. So it's not my favorite form, but I do get to read while I do it. So it makes the time go.
Yeah.
But I really do want to like feel athletic again, and I don't feel athletic on a Stairmaster.
You're an athlete.
Thank you.
So what about you, Holly? How do you balance rest and recovery through the week?
I think so. Similar to you, I look at my week on a Sunday and say, here are the work days that I'm going to be, traveling or busy or
Mhm.
whatever it may be. And I kind of navigate around work days. I'm getting back into the groove of guaranteed 3 days a week of strength training, optional fourth,
Mhm.
heavy on the optional
Right.
for now. And then trying to do 2 cardio sessions, guaranteed one, trying to do 2.
It's good to have a range.
It is. And it's a little bit less intimidating for my brain. And then in between those, I'm really prioritizing rest and recovery, but daily, I'm also prioritizing rest and recovery. Again,
Just
very,
bedtime.
very introverted girly. Um, 9 p.m., I like to get in bed, like to read for 30 minutes, and then the eyes are being shut, you know? Has that been working out? Sometimes, but I'm guaranteed to be in bed by 9:30. Whether I'm actually going to sleep is a different question.
Right.
Sometimes I do procrastinate sleep because I don't feel like I get enough free time throughout the day. But I think between my nutrition, my water, and my sleep, my daily rest and recovery is top notch, dare I say. Dare I say? Not every day, but most days I'm pretty good about it. And then I don't feel like I'm like challenging myself in an extreme capacity in the gym to where I need really strong recovery like an ice bath
Right.
because I'm not doing that much.
Yet.
I love the positivity yet.
Because you're a badass. What? Well, speaking of rest and recovery, in case you guys haven't heard that, those two words coupled together for the last 30 minutes, um, I was looking up some studies just because I'm an education nerd and like to know the things. Um, Now, I take all studies with a grain of salt because I feel like a new study comes out in 10 years and says something different. But I like to say current so that,
Mhm.
you know, in this field, we're always adapting and learning. Like things change, we adapt, we keep it moving.
Right.
So, was kind of looking at it from a recovery standpoint at maybe some like recent studies that came out. I did find one that was very, very interesting and very applicable to today. So, I wanted to share it. So, basically, they did a study in women specifically, which is important, and
Hello.
that's why we're here. Um, and basically, it was talking about the difference of recovery needed for HIIT training. So, HIIT training I categorize as high intensity, like circuit training, Orange Theory, a lot of group fit classes. I would consider high intensity interval training.
For sure.
Um, and then the type of recovery that's needed for traditional resistance training, which is we're going into the gym and we're hitting legs, or we're going into the gym and we're hitting chest and back, or whatever.
More of what we do. You could say.
Right. Um, and so basically, it was saying that HIIT training is more of a roller coaster to the body, which, duh, it's a roller coaster to my oxygen levels. Um, and so, because it's more of a roller coaster for your body, you're going to need more TLC. So maybe a little added recovery than if it were resistance training traditional, which might just need a good rest day.
Mhm.
So what I took from that was when we're doing HIIT training, again, high intensity, you're thinking, okay, I'm actually sweating a lot. I'm exhausting the body a lot. Maybe I need to replenish extra TLC with some electrolyte.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to take in more carbs because carbs are fuel. Maybe I need to do an ice bath. Maybe I need to do, like whatever it is
Mhm.
that you choose for recovery. HIIT training for women, roller coaster for the body, needs more TLC.
Yeah. And I find no shock by that personally.
Yeah.
Um, HIIT is high intensity interval training for those who may not know. And, I think we're kind of on the same page with, that can be effective to a degree,
Mhm.
but especially if we're doing that, if we're going to an Orange Theory class 3, 4, 5 times a week, what is that doing to the body, to the cortisol levels, to the just everything? And
Right.
especially I feel like a lot of people who do group fit are, maybe waking up at 5 a.m., going to their 5:30, 6 o'clock class, going to their corporate job, running themselves super thin,
Mhm.
probably not eating before, probably not eating for, probably not till lunch or, a late breakfast at that, running on coffee in the morning. So I don't think the devil is necessarily the HIIT. I think it's the lifestyle that kind of surrounds the group fitness and the
Yeah.
HIIT, in my opinion,
Right.
from what I've seen.
I won't ask you your opinion about group fit.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll save that for a hot take.
right. Oh, it's on the list. No, I agree. And, I will agree with you, especially like with the 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. classes. Like, I cannot eat a full meal in the morning before I go work out. That's why I
Mhm.
usually prefer not to work out in the morning. Or I have a very light snack like a rice cake with almond butter or chia seeds, whatever. Um, some honey, right? Because when you're doing HIIT training, you need carbs.
Yeah. Especially so early. I mean, at any time, but like so early in the morning where you've been fasting for 8 hours.
Right. Um,
Called break the fast for a reason. Well, it's not the fast, but break fast.
yeah, so running on coffee only is not the move when it comes to HIIT training. But yeah, you're right. It does turn into kind of that cycle and, you know, the recovery is not happening and so the progress is not happening.
Yeah.
So,
Movement is movement at the end of the day, but recovery really matters, especially for like most of the time we've got some sort of goal associated with moving our body.
mhm,
And any sort of goal is going to need rest. You can have the greatest workout plan, the greatest nutrition without proper rest and recovery. It's not where it could be.
right. I agree. All right, guys. So that's a wrap, basically, on rest and recovery. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know, do you get enough rest and recovery? Let's be real. Let us know if there are any other health and wellness topics that you guys want to see. And we got to go. We're going to go take a nap.
Yeah. Refuel that matcha.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Cut the BS with Holly and Rachel. If today gave you a dose of clarity, confidence, or even just a good laugh, we've done our job.
Don't forget, wellness isn't about doing more, it's about doing what actually works for you. So take what hit home, leave the rest, and keep showing up as your strongest, realest self.
Be sure to follow, rate, and share this episode with someone who's ready to cut the BS and live with more intention. Until next time.